蓝，你是不是美国的？
我是新西兰的。
好，不用进。
好，谢谢。The next minute, he's got armed soldiers coming through his gates.
你好像应该是国外的吧？
Good morning, folks, and welcome to one of our final spring mornings here in Wuhan. Today, gonna head back across the river to the site which commemorates the 1911 revolution. You may be asking yourself, is this the communists again? Is it another monument to revolutionary soldiers and party commemorations? No. We're talking pre-communist days, Imperial China, final Chinese dynasty, the Qing Dynasty, who had, in their final years, kind of failed to keep up with the rest of the world. Their dynasty was ended in 1911, and it all kicked off here in Wuhan. Still leaking. It's supposed to rain tomorrow as well, so I have no hope that this escalator is going to be in action before I leave. It's 10 o'clock in the morning, so we are about as off-peak as things get. People have gone to work, have already gone, and most of the old folks like to take the bus because it's cheaper. The bus is a flat rate, too quiet no matter where you go, whereas the subway charges you depending on how far you go. Pretty empty. For now anyway, we're still pretty early on in the stops. Alright folks, we are off the subway, out of the station. Apparently our revolutionary park and monument, museum and whatnot, all the good stuff, is down this road on the right. 850 meters. So we don't even need a bike, we're gonna walk it. 来一瓶阿萨姆吧。4块吗？收到了。对，收到了。好，谢谢。Ah, the irony. Welcome to Wuchang Uprising Square. Number one, it is prohibited to rally illegally or other activities. Interesting. So no uprisings in the Uprising Square. But anyway, we're here and we want to head up this way. Now that is a big old building. I was not expecting like a giant A. Right, so that's the 1911 museum. But in fact, the building I'm kind of more interested in is, I believe, that one down there. If you can see it way in the distance, just kind of poking its head out from the trees, which is like the old headquarters of the kind of military uprising. But we're here first. We'll head in here, hopefully, and then I want to check out that sucker. Now the little radio message that's being broadcast over and over again is saying you need to register to get in via WeChat, but I've thus far been unable to get into any museums that way. I've had to be entered manually, so let's try our luck. 师傅是要用微信扫码吗？还是？
是别登一个是吧？年轻人不登记，不登记。啊，不登记。好，登记。必须扫码，必须扫码。
我可以用护照就登记吗？还是要扫微信还是什么的？
来，你是不是美国的？
我是新西兰的。
好，不用记。
好，谢谢。里面可以拍照吗？还是？ 好，谢谢。Well, managed to get in very manually, but yeah, we're in nonetheless. Guard seemed a little bit reluctant. That's the least friendly guard I've encountered so far. Generally, the guards happy to see a smiling Kiwi face, but this guy's only question was, are you American? Now, when that says Foundation of the Republic, we're not talking People's Republic, we're just talking Republic. So end of Qing Dynasty into kind of democratic Republic of China, although it gets a bit messy.
这个人把那个揪了噻，把手
That's our man Sun Yat-sen and the event which made him famous. Kidnapped in London. That's the building we can see in the distance that I want to go check out later. More than this kind of modern museum. Well folks, that was the 1911 Revolution Memorial Museum. It's a nice, clean, modern museum with light shows and photos and guns and all the kind of stuff you would expect from a museum. But I'm more interested in the building across the way. There's the building, folks. As the rain continues to fall, the former kind of governor's building for the province. The kickoff of the, call it a kickoff, of the uprising itself wasn't actually that carefully planned. There were a number of members of kind of secret revolutionary organizations. They knew at some point they were going to rise up. But the actual execution, the actual kickoff, as I say, of the uprising was sparked by an accidental explosion. Fearing an investigation into the explosion and themselves being uncovered, they killed some of their officers who were loyal to the Qing government and took up arms to start the fight. Now the statue behind me is Sun Yat-sen. He was a leader of numerous attempted uprisings. All of them failed. Where was he during all this? He was actually in America, kind of doing some fundraising and resource gathering for future uprisings. So because this uprising kind of started without warning, he wasn't on the scene. But once the Qing government fell, he was established ever so briefly as the first president of the new republic.
需要用微信约吗？还是可以用护照吗？可以。好，就在里面登记就好。里面可以登记是吧？在那个就这个消防公示。往这边转，哎，对。好，谢谢谢谢。我们现在在这边也登记了。好，那就写名字还有护照号码是吧？对，然后里面可以拍照吗？可以。好，谢谢谢谢谢谢。那你普通话怎么说的这么好？我老婆是武汉人。哦。听好了。嗯，可以了。好，好可以了。好，行。好，谢谢。
Right, this is the spot, folks. This is where the revolutionaries came, stormed the governor's headquarters, and the uprising itself got underway. Now that flag in the background, you can see it's got red, black, and yellow spots. The red is kind of, I believe, the blood of the people. The black is the iron, and then the yellow represents the kind of different provinces which had to unite to overthrow the Qing. You can just imagine the governor being here, hearing news that there's been an explosion, not knowing what's going on. The next minute he's got armed soldiers coming through his gates, taking charge. Now, fortunately for the governor, he was actually able to flee before things got too out of hand. And after the Qing fell, he was out of a job.
要从对面那个门出啊。
哦，这边不能出吗？
这边你才进来了，你中间还没开啊，对面的外交部还没开啊。
哦，是这边出。
外走廊。 我这是内走廊，从外走廊可以走到军务部，
是吧？
军务部可以看到前厅和会议厅，然后那边的外交部和民教部都可以看到，
是吧？
哎，
好，谢谢。
它这个就是那个英文字母 H 型，
哦，是吧？哦，这个地方很有意思。
嗯，因为它这个楼是按照西方的那个议会大厦建成的， 1909到
1909年的。哦。
它建的是湖北省自治局，北京有个至臻院，然后每个省的地方都有一个，除了新疆外，其他的省都有一个独立的地方，就是各省响应那些独立的地方都有一个这样的西式建筑，
是吧？
哎。
你好像对历史还蛮感兴趣的。
我天天听他们，
是吧？
哎，天天听我们管理讲解员带一些五湖四海的一些游客，听的。你好像应该是国外的吧？
我是新西兰的。
哦，我是说看那语讲的那么高。可以进吗？可以进啊。因为它这又是湖社教育基地，所以像我们国内的一些学生孩呀，不管是幼儿园呐、初中小学、初中，
他们就会过来看一下，
哎，
是吧？
哎，
学一下这个历史。
你们留学生移过来的，
是吧？
那个湖北省博物馆你看了没？
好几年前看了的，但是这一次没看。
那你可以明天一抽空，就说明天好像是下中雨，有空的话去看看湖北省博物馆在东湖那边，可以看看东湖。
好，
东湖有个海
对，好，谢谢。Now, once the uprising got into full swing, they made this their headquarters for the uprising. So the military leaders of the uprising would have been based in these offices, plotting their next moves. How many people? 那是学生吧？学生。学生经常过来这边就学历史吗？对。哦，很好。昨天的小学孩子都学。是吧？1300。1300？Yeah, I think we're almost done here. But it's been nice to be able to kind of touch and feel and walk the halls of a pretty important historical spot. Alright, I'm here with my man, Mr. Chu.
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay, so you live there. You eat there. 这是餐厅吗？
对，很近。
那在这边吃饭要多少钱呢？